All right, good evening, everyone. So like I said, this evening we're going to be talking about two things. Number one, how to calculate pips, and number two, price action. Okay. The reason why these are very important is, like I said, it helps. First one, the one that has to do with how to calculate pips helps our versatility as traders. Okay. So we started a plan, and the plan is $50 to 6,000 in 6 weeks. But we haven't really gone very far with that plan yet. And the reason is that we are not, sometimes the trades I want to give us, all right, are trades I consider to be more like perfect trades. And we know that even though you see a trade that is perfect, it doesn't mean the trade will play out 100% all the time. But there are setups that come up in the market all the time that I take. But because of the way they play out, you guys are not able to take, I'm not able to send it out. So it's not as though some of those trades that we give, they don't trigger, or there are no trades on days where I don't give out trades. It's not like there are no trades. There are trades. There are trades every day, right? Only a few days where there might be some volatility in the market may be so low, right? And then even then you might still get two trades that will give you 10 pips. All right, so that's the thing is, I'm not able to give out those trades because we need to learn better. And that's why I'm looking at us focusing a lot on educating, on us understanding the markets properly, so that we'll be able to I can set out a trade. Like I was telling someone earlier, I can send this trade out and say, take an entry for a sell, even though after I see this candle close, I can say, take an entry for a sell, put your stop loss above the structure right here. Right, you'll be able to do that on your own, right? And then your trade will go to take profit, right? So if we're able to do that, we will have more setups, we'll have more trades than we can take. It won't be as perfect. And this trade, for example, I could have given out this trade will not trigger. You will say, oh, you think the trade did not trigger, but I've even traded it, I've even made money from it, right? So that's the thing. That's why I want us to know better. First of all, when it comes to calculating pips, it's very important so we can determine risk reward. Risk reward. Now, what's risk reward? This is what risk reward is. Let's say you are looking to enter a sell trade. Look at these two right here. These two right here that are showing the red and blue. This is one of the reasons why TradingView is very good. All right, TradingView can help you calculate your risk reward. All right, so what this is this. You want to take a trade here. You want to take a trade here, and then this risk reward, you can see it says here, risk reward ratio 1. So what this means, this helps you calculate what your take profit will be and what your stop loss will be in a risk reward ratio. So what this is telling you now is that my risk, this is 50 pips here. Let's just take this for an example. This is 50 pips. Now you can see this is 50.8 pips right here, 50.8 pips. This is 50.8 pips. It means that you are taking a stop loss of 50.8 pips and you are taking a take profit of 50.8 pips. So that's a 1-to-1 risk ratio. Now imagine, for example, that you now reduce that. You reduce that risk reward. Assuming you reduce this one. So instead of 50.8, you reduce your stop loss to 25. And then you leave your take profit at 50. What happens? Can you see now risk reward ratio has turned to 2. It means that you are risking 1, which is 25 pips, to go for 50 pips. That's what risk reward is. And that's where calculating your stop loss and take profits and calculating pips is very important. All right. So let's just go right into it. It's not difficult. So now let's say you are entering a trade. You are entering a trade. Let's say you're entering a trade somewhere. Say you're entering a trade here. Now, this green line is where you're entering a trade. Now, you know that there are 2 ways you enter a trade. You either enter a trade for a buy, So we enter trades for 1, buy, or 2, sell. All right. So we enter a trade either as buy trades or as sell trades. All right. So now when you are selling, your stop loss, when you are selling, your stop loss is going to be above your entry price. Now let's look at this trade, this line, this green line here as our entry price. Okay. So let's modify this line. Let's make it a whole number. Okay, so this line is 1.14250. 1.14250. That is our entry price. Okay, that is our entry price. Okay, so now if you want to enter a trade, like we said, we are either entering a trade for a buy or we are entering a trade for a sell. Right. So now if we are entering this, if we are taking this trade, we take this line as our entry price. If we're entering for a sell, if we're entering, let's start from buy. If you are entering for a buy, it means that your take profit is going to be above and your stop loss is going to be below.
We know that.
You know that already?
Yes.
Okay. All right. There might be someone who doesn't know that. So now, how do you now, and now you want to calculate, assuming you want to take 20 pips take profit and 20 pips take profit, 20 pips stop loss. Now this is for a buy. This is for a buy. Okay, this is for a buy. All right. So now if you are taking, if you are buying, this is your take profit, this is your stop loss. This is your take profit, this is your stop loss. Okay. So now for a buy, now if you are asked now, we have seen the entry price here, 1.14250. That's the entry price. Now for a buy, if you are asked to take 20 pips, this is what you do. 20 pips take profit, 20 pips stop loss. Now you come, first of all, you pick the entry price. This is the entry price. Entry price EP. EP is what? 1.14250. That's the entry price. All right. So now you are asked to pick 20 pips. Take 20 pips TP and SL. Okay. So you are asked to take 20 pips TP and SL. What do you do? Now, considering that you are in a buy trade, now this is for a buy trade. Considering that you are in a buy trade and you are meant to take 20 pips TP and SL, what you do is this. You know that your TP for a buy trade is above your entry price. So this is how you calculate. This is how you calculate your 20 pips now. So you have entry price EP minus 20 pips. EP plus 20 pips equal take profit. EP minus 20 pips equals SL. Okay, so now I'm writing this together so that we can get it. Okay, EP plus 20 pips equals TP. EP minus 20 pips equals SL. So what is the EP now? EP is what? 1.14250. So if we are to subtract 20 pips from it, what do we do? If we are to subtract 20 pips from it, So this is it. If we have to subtract 20 pips from it, we have sorry. Okay, let me use a calculator for this one. Okay, so this is a calculator. So what we do, please, I hope we can still see my screen.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, so now we have, now when you want to calculate for ease, for the purpose of ease, when you want to calculate anything, when it comes to take profit and stop loss, just eliminate the decimal place first. Just eliminate the decimal place. You do this. I said I'll teach you a simple way to do it. This is going to be the simplest way for you to do it, right? So just eliminate the decimal place and do it simply. Now you want to take 20 pips. Just do this. 1.1420. That's 250. That's the entry price. So you do this 114250. 114250. That's the price. Now subtract from it 200. Now remember, this is you are doing for 20. This last zero doesn't count. All right. So this 200 is actually 200 points, which is 20 pips. All right. So make sure it's 20. When you're calculating, you are using 200. This is points. It's called pipettes. It's not pip. So the pip starts from here. So 200 is 20 pips. Okay, I'm sure that's very simple for us to understand. So you click on this, that's minus. So what you now do is you take this price and you just insert the decimal place there. That's your stop loss. That's your stop loss. Your stop loss now is this, simple. Do we get that?
Copying, booting.
Okay. I don't know. Why is it not deleting? Okay. I'm wondering why this is not deleting. I wanted to delete it from the screen. It's not deleting. Okay, so now that's the way to calculate your SL. So your SL now, in this case, will become what? 1.14050. 1.14050. That's your stop loss. Then for you to calculate take profit, you do the same thing. You take the entry price. What's the entry price now? The entry price is 114250. Okay, remove the decimal place first. Okay, so now what you do is you are taking take profit. Is a buy trade. You say plus 200, plus 20 pips. Okay, so you just take this number and you insert your decimal place there. So what happens now? That becomes 1.11450. 1.1 1.14450. That
Wow.
profit. It's just as simple as that. It's as simple as that. And that's for a buy trade. That's for a buy trade. Now, for a sell trade, we'll do that one now. Okay. So for a sell trade, we have entry price as the same. Entry price as the same. Now take profit 20 pips and take 20 pips TP and SL. So what you do now is for this one, a TP becomes 20 pips. TP becomes EP minus 20 pips. That will give you TP. Why SL now, stop loss is EP plus 20 pips. Because in a sell trade, what happens is that your take profit is below your entry price and your stop loss is above your entry price. I'm sure some of us already know that, but if you don't know that, that's what it is. For a sell trade, your take profit is below your entry price and your stop loss is above your entry price. All right. So now for you to calculate the take profit of your sell trade, you are going to have to subtract 20 pips. Now, in this case, we are working with 20 pips. Now, for you to get your take profit, you are going to have to subtract your 20 pips from your entry price because your take profit is meant to be below. So that gives you take profit. Then for entry price, for your stop loss, you have to add 20 pips to your entry price in order to give you a stop loss. So let's do the numbers for that now. Okay, so the take profit, the entry price is what? 1.14250. Okay, so we said we remove the decimal place, 1.14250. So now to calculate the take profit, we subtract 20 pips from the entry price. So subtract 200. Okay, so that number now, this becomes 1.14050. Okay, 1.14050. That becomes the take profit for this sell trade. Remember, we're talking about a sell trade here. Sell trade. Now for the stop loss, we add 20 pips to the entry price. So what's the entry price again? The entry price is 1.14250. So we add 20 pips plus 20 pips. This becomes 1 point, we insert the decimal place back now, 1.14450. 1.14450. Okay, so this is now the take profit and stop loss for a sell trade, for our sell trade. This is take profit and stop loss for our buy trade. This is stop loss and take profit for our sell trade. Okay, so this is what it is now. So do we understand this?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Let me quickly finish what I'm doing first before I ask the question. So at minus 200.
Okay.
200.
So if there's anybody else who has a question, please unmute yourself and ask. I'm seeing Pamela. You guys are, if you can hear me, just let me know. And if you have any question, you can unmute yourself and ask. I can hear you. Okay, so this
is. So can I go?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, you can hear me, right? Okay, so you understand what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, I was a bit distracted, but I understand. Thank you.
You understand? Fine, that's good. All right, so now there's going to be an assignment with this.
Can I go with my question?
Go on with your question.
Okay, so basically for the buy trade and the sell trade,
Yeah.
I'm seeing the same thing because the sell trade is TP is equals to entry price minus 20 pips, which is equals to 1.1450.
Okay.
And then the LCL is entry price plus 20 pips. That gives us 1.14450.
Okay.
It's the same thing with the buy wherever not. For buy, our
Look at the screen.
TP is
buy.
1.
This is buy. This is sell.
Okay.
This is buy. This is sell.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the numbers. For buy, you have EP plus 20 pips. This is the price. You have for stop loss, you have EP minus 20 pips. This is the price. For sell, you have for TP, you have EP minus 20 pips. That's the TP for a sell. Then for SL, for stop loss for the sell trade is EP plus 20 pips. That's the stop loss for a sell trade. And you can see the number there. So if you just write this down and go back to it and look at it, you will understand it clearly. It's actually this is actually the simplest way to do it. You don't have to do anything. This is very simple. This is, if you can do it, if you can add 1 to 2 and remove 3 from 5, you can do this. All right. So there's no technical anything here.
Okay.
You understand? You understand? You understand it? Just write it down. Just the way you've written it down. Just write it down. When you go back to it, you will understand. You discover it's very simple. Yeah. But do you understand what I've seen? Do you see what I'm showing you?
Yes, I've seen it.
You've seen it. Okay.
It's a bit different from mine, but I'll cross-check later.
Okay. Of course, if you this, like I said, this is the simplest way for you to understand it. So whatever is complicated, you want to choose between which is simple and which is complicated, so that you can do this all the time. I do this. This is what I do, right? This is what I use. That's why I calculate TP just the way I subtract and add numbers. That's the way I do TP. All right. So it's very simple. Okay. Another thing is, if you are using TradingView can help you as well. All right. So if you take a trade, let's say you want to take a trade here now, and you take your tool. This is where you find your tool here. The tool is for long position. This for short position. All right. So if you are looking for a buy, you use the long position tool. If you are looking for a sell, you use the short position tool. Okay. So what you do is what we have here now is a short position tool. Okay. So what we do now is you just come here, you click on the point, you put it there, you click on it, you click on these settings. Look at these settings here where my cursor is. You click on settings, you tell TradingView whatever you want to put in. Oh, I want to put 20 pips, 20 pips. You turn this to 20 pips, 200. You turn this to 20 pips. Okay. Then you tell TradingView, okay, my price, I want my price to be like this, 1.14250. You calculate everything. You click on, sorry. Okay, no, this entry price here has to be like this, 1.14250. Okay, take profit is 200. Stop loss is 200. Okay, so this is what it is. It's meant to calculate it. I'm not sure why it's having some issues now. Okay, so 200. Okay, so TradingView will just give it to you like this. Then you now within TradingView there, you will now see what the number is. You can see the number here. Take profit level, there's the number. Stop loss level, that's the number. So once you calculate it, to calculate it for you, and that's if you're using TradingView. But of course, it's a simple way you can do it manually. Manually is very simple. All right. If you're not on TradingView, you can quickly do your calculation. You don't have to be on TradingView all the time. All right. So do we understand this? Can we go on?
Yes, please. Yes, please. But I also wanted to ask if you're taking 50 pips, you do the same thing.
Yes. you are taking 50 pips, you do the same thing. If you are taking 50 pips and 30 pips, let's say you are taking 20, let's say you are taking 25 pips stop loss and you are taking 50 pips take profit, you do the same thing. You just do the same thing. Okay, so it's that simple actually.
Okay.
Yes, yes. All right, so now the next thing I want to do is to show you guys this. When we say price action, we are talking about what price is doing. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So when you're talking about price action, you are looking at what is the candle formation. Each candle formation for per time is telling you what price is doing for that time. Whenever a candle closes in the red, what does it mean? Now, take note, this is red, this is green. Red, green, red, green, red, green. Let's just look at it like that. We are saying black and white, but let's look at it as red and green. Let's look at it as red and green, all right? So now, when we say price action, what we are saying is, what is price doing? What is the candle? What candle is, the candle formation is what is telling us what price is doing per time. So if a candle forms black like this, or forms red, that's telling us that price dropped in that period of time. So if you're seeing a blue candle, if you are seeing a blue or a green candle like this form in a period of time, let's say 1 hour, what that is telling you is that price moved up in that period of time. So candle formations is actually what we call price action. Candle formation is actually part of what we call price action. Okay, so when we say price action, what are we saying? We are saying, what do we understand by the way the candles are forming? What do we understand price to be doing looking at the way candles are forming? That's the meaning of price action. Okay, so when you look at certain price actions, certain candle formation, they tell you something about the direction price is about to go, either a buy or a sell. There's a time, some time ago, I looked at some of these patterns before. I looked at bearish engulfing. I looked at bullish engulfing. We did bearish engulfing. We did bullish engulfing. That was the ones we did. Now, a few more very important ones are these tweezer. Okay, and besides that, we also did shooting star. Okay, sorry, we did shooting star. Then we did hammer. We did hammer, we did shooting star, then we did bullish engulfing, we did bearish engulfing. So another pattern that is very important is this tweezer bottom and tweezer top. There are also, this tweezer bottom, tweezer top is also known as railroad. You will also hear railroad. Railroad may be easier to understand, okay? So a railroad, a bullish, so you have a bullish railroad and you have a bearish railroad pattern. So when you have a red candle form and then it closes and then you see a blue candle, a green candle form just beside it, and they are almost the same height, They are not necessarily the same height, but almost the same height. That gives you a bullish tweezer, which is a bullish railroad or a tweezer bottom. Excuse me. So a tweezer bottom is also known as a bullish railroad. A bullish railroad, okay? Whichever one is important for you, whichever one is easier for you to understand, just take it, right? So if it's tweezer or if it's railroad, you know, just know that whenever you see a red candle followed by a blue candle, that's a bullish railroad. Then whenever you see a bullish candle followed by a red candle, a green candle followed by a red candle, a green candle formed and went up. A red candle started and came down. That is a bearish railroad. What that means is that price is going to likely fall. Price is likely going to come down after this railroad. Is a bearish railroad. A red candle is following a green candle, so price is coming down. Now for this one, a red candle, a green candle is following a red candle, price is likely to go up. So that is a bullish railroad, and the other one is a bearish railroad. So these patterns are very important. The reason I brought up this pattern, we didn't talk about it the other time, but I brought up this pattern today because these patterns are very important. This particular pattern is very important. All right, so these patterns are patterns that work very well in the market. Okay, so when we have another time, we might look at when we advance more on price structure and all that. When we advance and price action, we'll be able to show more. I will show you more of these on the charts. I can show you more of this on the chart, how they play out on the charts. Okay, so these patterns are very important. So these are the two patterns I wanted to add to what we already have. We already have the shooting star. With this shooting star is a bearish pattern also. Okay, when you see this shooting star, I'm sure some of you were hearing when I was talking about shooting star. I was talking to you earlier, and I was talking about shooting star on the Euro USD trade on the 4-hour. So this is shooting star. Okay, now is a bearish pattern, which means that when you see it, price is likely coming down. So this is a hammer. Hammer is a bullish pattern. When you see this, it tells you price is most likely going up. Okay, so now the two patterns we are adding are railroad. Two railroads. We have the bullish railroad, and then we have the bearish railroad. So the bullish railroad is also known as a tweezer bottom, while a bearish railroad is also known as a tweezer top. So the bullish railroad, how you remember it is this: which one came first? If a red candle, if a green candle is following the red candle, you know the price is going up. Just identify charts that have top and bottom like this. Just identify them. If the bullish candle comes after the red candle, if the green candle came after the red candle, you know that price is going to go up. It may not go up with the next candle. We're talking about direction. So the price will go up generally. Okay. So if the red candle came after the green candle, you know that price is going to come down. Okay. So that's what that is about. We're about to be logged out by Zoom. Let me close this recording. Then I'll come back again so we can ask questions and round this off. Okay, guys. Thank you so much. I'll be back right now.